Hey everyone, welcome to the Jarvan Jungle Full Gameplay tutorial. Before we start, let's first talk about these items and runes. Currently, this is the ideal standard setup and feel free to use this as your guide. For better understanding, I will explain the reason on why this is my build. Jarvan is one of the more flexible junglers, and because of this, he actually has two builds. You could go for a more defensive build or a more offensive build. If you would want to go for a defensive build, it would look like something like this. But if you want to go for a more offensive build, it would look something like this. Going to the defensive build, the first item that you would want to get is Black Cleaver, as this synergizes well with this kit. It has a lot of HP, damage, ability haste, and is relatively cheap as well. One more thing about Black Cleaver is that it has armor reduction, which stacks with your first skill, which also has armor reduction, making the targets a lot more squishier and easily burstable by your carries. The next item that you would go for is Steel-Plated Stone Plate. This is really good for Jarvan. It synergizes well with your second skill. If you use your Stone Plate plus second, your shields would be even bigger. And it will make you a lot more tankier in the team fights. The next item that you would go for is Sterak's Gauge. This synergizes well with Steel-Plated Stone Plate, as your shield would be even bigger if you proc the Sterak's while in the Stone Plate. It also gives a bit more damage, which makes your damage output higher as well. Then one of the more underrated items that I would go for is the Warmog's Armor. Due to blue buff not having any more natural regen, a great alternative for this is the Warmog's Armor, which makes your HP regen a lot higher. And it also synergizes well with the Sterak's Gauge and the Steel-Plated Stone Plate, which becomes even better when you have more HP items. Then the next item that we would go for is Guardian Angel. Just in case you go down, you have a second life. And with the Warmog's regen, you're able to regen even faster. Then the last item is actually depends on you. If they have a lot of AP, you could go for the Force of Nature. But if you would want to focus more on damage, you could go for the Death's Dance. Getting a reset would put your HP back even faster. Then going to the more offensive build, this is what you want to build. Second item, Divine Sunder, as this gives a lot of damage and is good against high HP targets. Then you go for the Stasis. Since you're a bit squishy, you could go for an engage, press your stasis, wait for your team to get the opponent down, and then follow up on what happens. Since we have a lot of damage, we could go for a Death's Dance third item. Then we go for the GA for the security, just in case they're able to take us down, we have another chance to fight back. Then the last item, we would go for the Sterak's just for more survivability and a bit more damage. Going to the runes, the first rune that I will go for is Conqueror. You could stack this really easily, and it's good with your kit. The next rune that we would go for is Brutal. The reason why I go Brutal is because I want to focus on Jarvan's damage in the early game, and when it comes to the late game, he'll be more of a defensive, tankier type of champion. So I go for the Brutal to maximize his early game gains. And then the next one that we go for is Hunter Titan. Another alternative could be the Nullifying Orb, which would make you tankier when you're low HP, or you could just go for the Conditioning if you want more armor scales. Since we're focused on building HP, we wouldn't have enough armor, and Conditioning will help us get our armor back. The last rune that we would go for is Pathfinder, because Jarvan has strong ganking potential and could easily gank this lane. Pathfinder would make our rotations even faster, and is also a general rule for junglers to use. And with that, I will see you guys in game. Going to the game, this is where I'll teach you the tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, and advantages, disadvantages of Jarvan IV. In this matchup, we are currently up against Jungle Wukong, and in a Wukong versus Jarvan matchup, this is highly favorable towards the Jarvan in the early stages of the game, but it will go to the Wukong when we get to the late game. So there's a trick that I would want to teach you. It's a level 1 control ward trick, wherein you switch to your control ward, put it anywhere in the map, immediately recall, and switch back to your yellow trinket. So what this does is that you're able to put a free ward in the map, since control wards don't expire, and you would have your yellow trinket after your first rotation clear. So I don't even get delayed, and I immediately reach my first camp, take the red easily, and go for the red side clear. So the red side clear is going for red, Krugs, Raptor, and then we go for a flex on where we want to go next. And in this matchup, since we're fighting against a Wukong, we would want to exert our early game dominance and try to get as much ganks as possible. When clearing our camps, Jarvan is pretty easy. You just want to use your skill after every auto attack to use maximum efficiency. One trick about Jarvan is using the third first combo. So when using the third first combo, what you could do is just double tap the third skill 2 times for an immediate flag and drag. So unlike the PC version where you have to manually cast the third and then cast the first, here you just need to tap the third skill twice and it would be immediately dragged to the flag. And then while waiting for the Scuttle to spawn, I check the blue buff. I try to look for the Wukong. I don't see him the blue buff, so I immediately start the bot scut while looking for places where I could go. So after taking the Scuttler, I decide to go for the blue buff invade because I have mid priority as well as a winning bot lane. And I assume that Wukong is in the top scut because he hasn't showed in the bottom side yet. So my clear is quite fast and I want to get a lead against the Wukong. I see there's a fight in the mid lane. I see that Wukong is in the mid lane. There's a fight at the bot side. And I go there instead and try to get a gank in. I see that Sen is slow. I flash in for the slow and then follow up with my third first. I get my level 5. I'm able to ult the set. He has no more flash. I take the set down with my first skill. But I get taken down as well because their mid jungle had a fast response and they're able to get a trade. Overall, I think this is worth for us because not only do we get the first blood, but we also get early kills, wherein we're put in a spot where we could snowball the game. So once I respawn, I go for my top side, my bot side camps are cleared. I'm able to take Wukong's blue, and my blue is probably still up. So I'm up camps as well as gold on my counterpart. So one way that you would want to gank with Jarvan is going for the lanes without any dashes or flashes. So once you gank a lane with no flash or dash, that means that they wouldn't be able to escape your ulti and it would be a really easy kill for you. So those are the lanes that you'd always want to prioritize. So after clearing the Gromp, I have my Black Cleaver. I try to recall in order to get it, but I see that there's a big wave top and their junglers at the bot side, so I want to have a trade on the top side. So I prioritize the gank. I look to punish the Vayne. As soon as he tries to eat the third fruit, I go for the punish. Vayne flashes out, and once he has no more flash, that's when I immediately ult, no escape, and we get a kill for our team. We also deny 2 to 3 waves of the Vayne, which is very, very good for us. Our bot lane survives as well, and we go for the recall to buy our Black Cleaver. So once we get the Black Cleaver plus boots, our bot side camps have spawned. We go for the bot camps, and as you can see, the initial control ward that I placed is still there in the top side on the top banana bush. And we have a lot of we have our yellow trinket as well for even more ward coverage. So that's the strength of putting a control ward at level 1, wherein the opponent would not be able to the ward as easily. So when clearing the camps, I look for lanes that I could possibly gank. Dragon will be spawning in 30 seconds. My duo bot have recalled. Try to buy their items. I already have my cleaver, so I don't need to recall. So the next thing that I would want to do here is that I would want to prevent the opposing duo bot from recalling. I see that the Senna wants to recall. They haven't gotten their items. I have already gotten my items. So I deny the set. I try to combo him. I see that the Senna's recalling. I prevent the recall. I have my Black Cleaver plus my first skill. We do a lot of damage. And the dragon will spawn at this time, which is perfect timing. This will most likely not be contested because it will be a 5v4 and the perfect time to start the dragon. So Graves is trying to buy time against the Echo and Wukong. Wukong decides to go for the dragon. I have my first plus smite to secure the dragon. Wukong gets the ulti onto me. I buy a lot of time. I use my second skill. I use my first skill to try to get out. I could have saved my flash there because I had the flag outside. I panicked a bit, but all in all, we're able to get the dragon. We're able to get some kills. Even though they're able to get a bit of a trade in the bot side, I think my team overextended a bit. It's still an overall win for us because we get kills, dragons, and I see that 2 people are at the bot. So I immediately go for the Herald to secure even more objectives. So even though the opponent tries to contest the Herald, it will be a 4v3 because two of their members are still at the bottom side. So I'm confident that we would be able to secure this objective unless it gets stolen. But I have my first plus smite combo again to secure the Herald. I go for the punish. Wukong has no more spells. He used his ultimate a while ago. I use my flag and drag to disengage a bit since Vayne's damage is a bit strong. I also try to help my team in the sidelines. I'm a bit low. I'm just waiting for the opponent to overextend before going for the punish. So my team is a bit greedy. I see that the Vayne tumbles in. I go for the flag and drag. We force the Vayne's flash. And I decide to go back because I have no more skills to do. Kai'Sa overextends, takes down the Senna, but also dies as well. Sett does a great ulti. Echo is pushing the bot, so overall I don't think it's that worth because they're able to get a free tower at the bot side while we're not able to get any trades. So Echo secures the first tower. I try to go for a trade. So what I do here is I force the issue bot side. I clear the wave and most probably I will use the Herald to try to get the tower. So I saw that Echo recalled. I got the Herald out. I used my third skill for the additional attack speed. Once I see two people, I immediately go for the disengage. I have my Herald, which can destroy two platings. We secure the tower. We get a trade. Even though we're not able to get the first tower, it's okay. The most important thing is that our team gets gold. And looking at the lineup, we have a strong scaling composition with Kai'Sa, Graves, and Akali. So once I get my Sterak's, I have my second item at the 7-minute mark, which is really good for us. Our Lulu gets caught in the mid lane, so I go back to my camps and start to farm. So in this game, I'm going for a more defensive build. And the reason why is because we don't have any front line. If you look at our lineup, we have two marksman, an enchanter support, and an assassin top. Echo overextends a bit. He flashes out, so once he uses the flash, no more dashes. I immediately ult for the punish. Kai'Sa is able to take down the Sett as well. Senna is able to root me, but it's worth because we get kills and the shutdown as well. I see that the Wukong is a bit overextended. I use the slow. He's able to clone my smite. Kai'Sa, I think, will be able to secure with the second skill. Great snipe. Get a 3 for non-exchange. And we're able to get the lead back, taking a lot of kills and a tower in the process. So, going back to why I'm going for a more tanky build, it's because we don't have a front line and this is the best build to be able to carry the game as well as becoming an initiator for our team. So the only thing, even though there's a Vayne and Sett, which are both good against tanky targets, it's okay because I have a lot of damage in my kit as well to be able to bring them down. So Echo uses the ulti. We go for the counter gank. We take him down as well. And this is what you want to do as Jarvan, is to try to be as active as the map as much as possible. So the next item I would go for is the Warmogs, so that even though we're brought down in the low HP, I just need to wait a bit. Ever since the blue buff has no more natural regen, Warmogs has been a great replacement for this. So scuttlers are up, the mid and bot towers are down. Now I go for the top side to look for the punish. I see that Sett and Wukong are clearing the top side. I go to ult the Wukong so I can block the Sett as well as block the Wukong from engaging my team. So we get a really good catch there. My team overextends a bit. I wanted to go back. They get punished for it. I tried to crowd control the opponents, but they're already down. So it's a bit a mistake from their part. So what I do here is I go for the Vayne instead because I know they're at the top side. I use my flag and drag. He's able to flash my combo, but we have a lot of slows in our kit. And we're able to take the Vayne down as well. So we get another kill. We try to look for an equalize. I don't have my Warmogs yet, so I don't have my regen. So here, I decide, do I go for the Dragon or do I go for the Rift Herald? In hindsight, I think it was better for me to go for the Dragon, but I needed to make a decision. At this time, I went for the Herald. But since I was quite indecisive, Senna was able to get the Herald before getting there. They're also able to get the dragon. We get a kill in exchange. We get a tower as well. But it would have been better if we went for the tower instead. So we force the Echo ultimate. Kai'Sa tries to chase down the Echo. We try to get counter kills. Echo dashes right in front of me. We flag and drag. We miss our flag and drag, but we have our slow with our second skill, and we're able to secure the kill. Wukong is able to punish the Akali. I think Akali was a bit overextended. So what the reason why I went for the Herald there is because I thought my team wouldn't reach the dragon, and I wanted to get a trade. It was a bit risky for me to, since I have a kill streak, I didn't want to sacrifice my kill streak for a 50-50 chance to get the dragon. So there are some decisions that you need to make as well. You just need to become more decisive. So when I recall, I have my items. I go for my top side clear. At this point of the game, this is where our damage will be a lot weaker because the opponents have more items, and what we want to do is to try to peel for our team or to zone the opposing carries. I see that they're taking time to take the red. I am able to get a 2-man knockup. I tank the damage with my Stone Plate plus Terax. But Echo is able to access the backline. I use the ulti to try to buy time. I'm pretty low, so I go back instead. The opponents were able to be complete. So it was a 5v3. I thought there were only 2 people there, and my team wasn't able to respond on time. So we got punished. But it could have been a way better fight. So now I have my Warmogs, and look at my... I have my Warmogs, and my HP is going back a lot faster. And you will see how strong the Warmogs is in the later fights. So the opponents want to force mid. 2 of us are down. I go for the engage. I have a lot of HP in my kit, so they can't burst me down. I tank the opponents, use my Stone Plate. Go front. I get a 2-man knockup. Graves got stunned. My Graves got taken down. I had to flash out, but as soon as I saw the Kai'Sa Lulu, I decided to go for the re-engage. We take down the Echo. Set it's in the side lane. He doesn't know that it's warded. We take Set down as well, and we get a good trade. So now that my duo bot is up, I see that Vayne is at the bot side. I immediately ping the Baron. We go for the Baron. And what's good about Jarvan is that he's really good if you have a marksman in your team, because your third skill gives attack speed, AoE attack speed to your team, and one of the best champions to get the additional attack speed is the marksman, which is Kai'Sa. So we secure the Baron. We get a lot of HP. Our second skill, we tank a lot. We peel for the Kai'Sa. Vayne gets a good condemn. Kai'Sa takes on the Vayne, and we try to chase. We chase the Wukong. Wukong also tries to get a trade. We prevent the trade, and we peel for our carry. And here comes the Warmogs. The Warmogs is kicking in. We're full HP again. We don't have to go back. We have blue buff plus Warmogs regen, and what this means is that we'll never run out of HP and mana in a team fight. So here, I know that I have my Warmogs, even though the tower and Set is able to damage me a bit. I have regen to get my HP back. We take down the tower. And we get a lot of objectives in the process. So thanks to the Warmogs, I'm able to not only get Baron, we're able to get kills, and we're also able to get towers down. So next, I finish my GA. We have a lot of survivability. Even though we get taken down, we have our GA and our Warmogs to put our HP back up. So the next thing that you want to do here is, there are 2 things that Jarvan can do. Number 1, peel for your carry. Number 2 is to zone the enemy carry. So when do you peel and when do you zone? So you'd want to know, the most basic indicator of knowing what to do is by checking the items of your carries. If your carry is a lot stronger, you go peel for your carry. But if the opposing carry is a lot stronger, you go zone the enemy carry. So that's what you would want to prioritize. So here, Echo tries to go for the Kai'Sa. Our Kai'Sa is quite kind of strong at this stage. We have Lulu as well. We peel for our Kai'Sa. Set dodges our flag and drag combo. There are 3 people on the left side, so we try to zone them out. We prevent them from getting near our Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa pops off, is able to get a Quadra, and that's what's really good for us. Our Baron buff expires, but with 4 people down, we're able to easily end the game. So hope you guys enjoyed our Jarvan tutorial, and I will see you guys next time. Before I go, There are 3 tips I would like to share with you when playing Jarvan. The first is when to use the champion. Jarvan is best used if the opponents have low mobility, meaning that they have no dashes in their kit. With no dashes or flash, they can be caught out with the use of the ultimate and easily be bursted down. My second tip is engaging. Jarvan has multiple ways to engage with his kit. Utilize your ultimate to trap either the enemy carry or to get multiple people to buy time for your team. Another trick that Jarvan's flag gives a lot of vision is on a short cooldown and has a large cast range, so always use this to face check bushes or to check if the objectives are already being started. My third tip is his flexibility. Jarvan is a very flexible jungle, which means that he can easily adjust his build depending on what his team needs. If your team needs more damage, he can go for a damage-oriented build. If your team has no frontline, he can go for a more defensive build. Adjust and build accordingly to the situation. And that is it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe in order to see more content. Feel free to leave a comment if I missed anything and what champion you would like to see next. Thanks for watching. Ciao, ciao.
I'm finally facing it all, fearless.